I'm really happy to see all of you and happy that you're all obviously looking well and good and healthy. I got a little cold from my Singapore trip. Actually, not the Singapore trip, the returning was the problem. Singapore was 30 degrees plus, and Germany and Berlin was 3 degrees minus, and that gave me a cold immediately. And I would like to start a check-in. So I started already the little check-in round, and let's give it a start with Raika. Maybe you first. So let's make use of our close relationship here in Berlin, and then we move around the planet.
Well, yeah. So here at the GDTA headquarters, we've been still wrapping up the Izmir conference, and we've been chatting with the South African half of the headquarters a lot, trying to set up the new website since we're moving the hosting over. And then in parallel, there's a lot going on at the D School itself here in Potsdam. And maybe Claudia, you might be the best person to sum up that part. I'll hand over straight to you, I think.
Okay, but what do you want me to talk about?
Just a check-in of what's going on at the D School in Potsdam right now.
Okay, check in. I mean, yeah, I can't also tell that much, honestly, because has been Monica, who was recently in Cape Town, so just came back. Haven't seen her in the office yet. So
Mhm.
there was last week a meeting in Cape Town between all three D schools funded by the Hasso-Plattner Foundation. So Stanford and Potsdam made their way to Cape Town. Well, and met with the D school there. And as none of us in this call has been part of this meeting, or got an update afterwards. But it was a bit like trying to figure out how, first of all, that was my understanding, how to honestly, I mean, I know it's recorded, but maybe also convince Stanford to become part of the GDTA. I think it was at least on Monica's talking points, as far as I've understood. And then also seeing if we could maybe also create a bit of closer bonds. And that's also a shout out to everyone here in this call to design programs where we are relying a bit more on not just like shout out, come and join, but more of a joint approach to establish programs together. So have something like I would say rather formalized in terms of students exchange or projects, programs, sorry, that we would offer at both or at three of our institutions. And I think this might be also then an idea to follow up with other GDTA members. Yeah, sorry that I can't share more because I don't know more at the very moment. And other than that, we're in the middle of the semester, so we started in mid-October. Not really in the middle, but it feels already like in the middle with our programs. And yeah, in terms of update, maybe to share, we're also branching a bit more into not looking at design thinking from a project process perspective, but looking at it from future skills perspective, integrating potential of artificial intelligence into creative and innovative or innovation processes. So that's what we're currently working on. I would say that's it. And I don't know if there is a specific order in terms of Berlin and Potsdam is super close.
Oh,
So I hand it
hand
back to
over.
Uli. Well, I just handed over. Okay, then I hand it over
Yeah.
because she's next to Mira Luca.
Hi. So, a big update from Romania, from Sibiu, is that the university launched an app, a university-wide app, and it was developed together with an IT cluster. So more companies in Sibiu that like volunteers from companies, IT companies in Sibiu that actually mentored 10 students. And the D school in Romania was part of the mentoring the UX team that was responsible for the app. So we did some interviews with students, which nobody, of course, thought about doing before we joined. And a lot of them said, there's no time, we have to code it and release the first version before the holidays. But then things, of course, moved slower. So I managed to convince them to do some interviews. And we actually launched it last week. And the feedback from the students was you can tell it's not developed by a university, that students had their say in it because it's very friendly. It looks like social media. So that's very cool. And I'm really happy for that. Although the D school like credit is not that big because everyone says the university worked on the app with, of course, all the IT companies, but the students know about it, and that's good for me for now. And it's also, I mention it as a shout out for next year because we are planning to organize a 5-day program where we maybe work on new features or maybe how to extend it or what to extend, maybe something else, not an app. And it's currently going to be international in the sense that our university is part of this European Alliance. I won't give all the details now in the check-in, but I can give an email on that, and I would be happy if GDTA members would like to somehow collaborate, if we can figure out a way to do that. So, and just one short thing regarding the meeting with Stanford and D School Africa and HPI D School. I'm sorry nobody from Africa, from D School Africa is in the call because I kept meaning to point this out. When they launched the new building, everyone talks about, the 3D schools funded by the foundation. And of course, the D School in Romania is not funded by the foundation, but the building was, just like in Stanford's case. So maybe just as a heads up, communication wise on social media, it would be nice if it wouldn't always be mentioned as the 3D schools. Yeah, thanks.
You are so right. Yeah, we we actually um, make the D schools aware of that, in their communication.
Thank you.
Claudia, you can help with that.
Like
Yeah.
as a kind observation, of course, nothing, I understand the context. And I appreciate your support. And I would hand it over to stay in Europe, I guess, to Caroline.
Hi, everyone. So good to see you all. Yeah, we've been very, very busy in the second half of the year. We've done, I think, five workshops in the second half of the year. Just finishing up a workshop in the Philippines and in Peru. And unfortunately, I don't see Chan in the call, but I just needed to say a big thank you because one of our organizers had to cancel, and one of the organizers from Izmir jumped in and she did a phenomenal job. So, yeah, thank you for the GDTA conference because they brought us together and a little bit closer. Um, yeah, like I said, we had a busy year. We have a few updates as well. We're in the middle of the planning for the next year. And we're looking at around 5 to 6 impact weeks, depending a little bit on the demand. Um, Vinjam and Anirban, that could be interesting for you. We've just talked to the KDEM, the Ministry for Digital Economics in Karnataka, and they want to do an impact week not in Bangalore itself, but somewhere in the state of Karnataka. So it would be nice to possibly get together and partner on that. Yeah, and aside from that, we're planning 2 workshops in Africa for now, in Uganda and in Kenya. I'm not sure if someone from the D school would be available, but it would be nice to kind of partner and get that Africa chapter going. And then the other Impact Weeks, we're actually going to do a partnership with the University Hochschule Offenbach, close to Freiburg, with a new concept. So it's going to be our first workshop in Germany. And then we will stay in Asia, possibly with another Impact Week in the Philippines, because it went quite well despite the typhoon that was running right through our city, and one in Nepal. So if anyone is interested in partnering up for those or has a different idea or an additional workshop that they're planning and want to partner with us, that would be amazing. And two of our partner universities or partners from Impact Weeks have applied. So you may have seen the De La Salle College of St. Benilde from the Philippines. They've been doing workshops with us for 4 years and now helped us to scale Impact Week to Baguio, the north of the Philippines, and then Iptica, which is from Jordan. So two new countries on the map for the GDTA,
Wow,
if they're approved.
that's fabulous. Thanks. And you hand over to, let's ask Hoda.
Sorry, I was already reading Hoda's message. Maybe I'll hand over to Nalin. He's already unmuted.
Hi, hi to all, and it's so nice to see and hear everyone busy and also little vacation time you've been actually doing, and also past networking is very useful. Glad to hear that. So with India in Coimbatore and with SNS, we've been pretty active every week, spreading design thinking sessions and workshops to many schools in and around Coimbatore. Every week, we try to go and conduct like 1 day to 2 day boot camp on design thinking. This is one of the largest outreach program that we started to do in the last 1 to 2 months. And along with design thinking, we educate on agentic AI using N8 tool, so that how the ideas can be converted from um, uh, ideas to prototype, and we try to cultivate them with trainers on design thinking and also trainers on agentic AI. So, so far in the last 1 month, we may have actually covered nearly 1,000 plus students outside SNS. And on an average, we were able to reach out to nearly 10 to 15 schools in and around Coimbatore, and also we provide participation certificates to all of them. With this initiative is planned to do with quarterly hackathons on design thinking and also agentic AI. Eventually, we aim for all the design thinkers who've been part of our process to join us in 2026 design thinking conference that SNS and India chapter is planning to host in the month of September. So these are one of the starting initiatives. But we also have created, our team had created a 3 day agenda plan and also a yearly engagement plan with how we can measure the metrics based on the past design thinking conferences over the last 2 to 3 years. I will share with the group, and you can put your comments and you can put your ideas, all the things, whatever you like to have in India. You wanted it, we will try to incorporate. And we wanted to see a wonderful experience with D conference in India in the next 2026. And thanks to Uli for pushing me, keep doing that. Thank you, Uli.
Yeah,
And go
we'll
ahead.
we'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
hopefully with all the and go through it more in detail. And next is Vindhya, maybe staying in India.
Hi everyone. So lovely to hear from all of you, and so great to also hear the amazing work that you all are doing, Nalin at SNS. Really good. So for us, I think the main update is we've been able to hire a few more facilitators to join us, which is something that we've been meaning to have for a little while on our team. So happy to have two more facilitators. Unfortunately, they're also on leave and they couldn't join now. It's in the night for us, but hope to introduce them to you all sometime. And we've also just been busy with our workshops and our classes, and looking at different ways that we can incorporate AI into the process while maintaining the human touch, because right now the main challenge that we're generally seeing is the lack of critical thinking and the lack of creative thinking, and everything being delegated to AI. So just like looking at how to get the focus back and keep the human touch. And we're also gearing up for Cause 2026. That's our annual innovation challenge that happens usually in the month of April. So we're just getting started with the planning for that. And of course also looking at we'll soon have a meeting about our looking forward to having everyone over in India in 2026 for the GDTA conference. Yeah, so that's the main update here, and I'll pass it on to Anirban, who's
Yeah, I
also
think logically I'm the next guy on
yes.
the India chapter, or what we call the India chapter. Great, good to see everyone. Hi, and as you can see, I'm out on the road. It's 8:30, and you are getting to meet Ella, and that's Etta, uh, having their last evening walk. Coming back to GDTA, I think one of the best things I did was to attend this conference. I really can't imagine why I hadn't done it before. It was a lot of fun. And I think since then, I've had conversations with Ricardo, Maria, Janice, and we are talking collaborations with a whole bunch of them. Raluca, our conversation's still pending. I know that's on me. Ricardo, we need to do something. I actually met Vindhya this evening. We had a beer together. So talking about work. So looking forward to tomorrow. So from our side, yeah, the Painted Sky, lots of work. The seventh generation approach, I just actually sent out a mail to Maria today because she was keen to, Monica today because she was keen to understand what's going on, and Janice. And it's really picked up, reimagining the way we look at traditional approaches to reimagine design thinking. We have had a couple of client engagements. One we launched last week with a 2-day program, followed by a 20-week project across their functions from supply chain to marketing and distribution, and I think built environment, emissions, and R&D, where we are going to apply this approach to, it is taking decisions across a timeline and with earth, water, and air as your stakeholders, what can essentially thinking of consequences and impact. And I think it's really picked up well. So it's been going well. So thank you so much. Yeah, tomorrow we have a call. I don't really have much more exciting stuff to tell you. Yeah, next year should be interesting in India. And Nalin, we should be talking soon. And yeah, we'll see how we can host you. I mean, Ishbir has set the bar high. I mean, I've never been to one before, and Ishbir really did a great job. So I think no pressure, but yeah, there is pressure. Right, Nalin? Yeah, you need to nail it. Like you made Yuli fall in love with Coimbatore. Now it's up to the entire GDTA. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you again. And yeah, who should I pass it on to? Since I referred to Ricardo, maybe Ricardo. No, Ricardo. Yes, you.
All right. So thanks, Aniba. Good to see everyone. I'm talking from Brazil right now, so it's midday here, mid 12:30, so almost lunchtime. So it was so glad to see almost everyone at Izmir. It was really good. I think it was a really gathering and it was a really special moment. Uh, few updates from us. We've been trying to evolve as this AI revolution is coming. So everything is changing, and we're seeing how fast things are going. We decided to get this what we've been calling the design intelligence. So what we are kind of foreseeing for the next years is the role of designing itself. Once you have these systems designing itself, what is the role of design, or what is the role of designer? So we kind of split into three, let's say, main segments of research. One is the creative entity. I share a bit of that into the conference, where we have the AI as a creative partner. We also exploring AI as a like how we orchestrate AI within the workflow, intelligent workflows. And the last is what we are calling the AIX, which is artificial intelligent experience. And we've just finalized recently a kind of a collective incomplete manifesto within with the students here in Brazil, and was interesting to see how they seen this application of AI within experience, especially in CX, and how do you design journeys considering AI. So we've been applying those three, let's say, types of knowledge within uh, design and AI. So, and we've been calling the design intelligence framework, where we're going to have in the very near future, maybe um, something to share. We are still exploring, doing a bit of research. Next year, we decided to go deep into that. So I may reach out to some of you to explore synergies, but that's the main topic for us in the next year. And not right now, it's just end of the year, everyone trying to burn the last mile of cash budget. Everyone wants the miracle, the next iPad, the next ChatGPT, and there's no magic within a month towards the end of the year. But that's it. Yeah, that's it from me. So good to see everyone again. We should meet more often, I would say. So yeah, I'll pass probably to Jacob. Maybe we keep in the Americas here. So
Yeah,
Yes.
just a
Jacob
little
and
further
Peter are the
and a
last
couple
ones.
hours behind.
yeah.
Um, yeah, things have been going well here. Natalie's not with us today, probably because she's having an overdue rest. She just wrapped up our RBC design thinking program that's run in collaboration with the Royal Bank of Canada. Last night was their big wrap-up event, so that went off very successfully. Um, from my side, I came back from the conference, and while it's been a busy semester, uh, most of my spare time, as it is, has been put towards agentic things as well. Inspired a lot by a session I had with Ricardo down in Izmir. So I've been building my own GPTs and agents for specific design thinking tasks, embedding them in my course, and deploying them with students this semester. And the response has been really good. Um, I have a couple workflows. One just kind of around storyboarding to get hyper realistic storyboards and really well constructed narratives with students around product use. And then the other one is kind of a two-part workflow that runs from concept in the mind, getting that out in hyper-realistic images, and then passing that on to Hunyan 3D, developing 3D meshes, and then having students pull them into VR headsets. So in the course of about an hour, 45 minutes, depending on how familiar they are with it, they can go from a thought about a product to having a discussion about it, fleshing it out, and then getting it into VR one-to-one scale directly in front of them. And I've got a couple groups doing that this semester. So that'll be interesting to see. And then I heard Nalan mention N8N. So one of the issues I've been having is I did it all in ChatGPT, and then there's a paywall there.
that students run into, or a conversation wall, let's say, because even with the free account, you can converse with the GPTs, but only so much. So the last week, I've moved everything over into N8N and constructed them so that students don't have any paywall, and it's a little more equitable. And so that's going to have the conversation this afternoon to get a budget to put that department wide. But yeah, so things are moving forward in a good way, I think. And it's been a fun semester so far.
That's great. That's great. Good to hear. You should also try Google Opal, which is open in US. It is not open for India, so it's kind of free out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to
But
see if
I'm
it's
glad, but I'm glad that you are using N8N, and Nalin, you as well, in India, because it's a Berlin-based company, so it's not. Okay, Peter.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, my camera's off. I've spent the day in a very long faculty workshop yesterday and today, and on my way home at the moment. So excuse that. What's been happening in Cape Town? So we had a visit last week from Potsdam University and Stanford University, just kind of mapping and scoping, how the three universities who are all funded by the Hasselblatt Foundation could work together and what that relationship could look like over the next 2 to 3 years as a pilot in the starting phase. So that was quite busy and really kept us quite busy over that time actually. This week we actually have a Seshu University down in Cape Town. They're doing a bit of a visit, looking at obviously the Africa chapter of the GDTA and just us strengthening our relationship with them. We've got a big program on this week, which is DT Week. So we've got 100 students in the building. And it's an interesting time because the semester's done. So this is really the last big program for us for the year as we look to wrap up this year and then start next year again. But as always, what we do is we just focus on a bit of coach and lead training. So we've got some coach training taking place in early December. We've got Janice, head of research, out at a research conference this week with one of our postdocs. Just trying to work out and strengthen that, and then working quite a bit with the foundation on our new agreement for the next 3 years as well. Other than that, it's the end of the year, but it's busy. It's quite busy at the moment. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you. And I'm really curious to learn more about the outcome of the meeting, Peter, you had with the friends at Stanford and Potsdam, but not today,
Yeah,
maybe later.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
So we have a member application in about a little bit less than or more than 20 minutes. So let's go through all the topics here on the board. First is Fit
I think we
University.
missed out Hoda.
Yeah, she
Hoda
wrote in the chat.
was writing in the chat that her
Oh,
internet is
yeah. Oh, is it?
bad,
Okay,
and
okay,
she
I
was
missed that.
giving an update in the chat. So Fit University since Andre is joining. Great.
Hi, sorry for being late. Thank you.
We were just ending the check-in round, but since you were just joining, you can briefly tell us what is going on in Cologne.
Yes, Cologne is converting most of its learnings into game-based learning because we figured out that a lot of our alumni or people leaving university are bad in decision making. There are a lot of tough decisions. If you enter business, if you become a teacher, you have to decide in every given second. And we saw that game-based learning could be better to acquire all these heavy knowledge, for example, in physics, make sense out of it and apply it to decision making. So that's a big thing. And thanks to you for giving these insight how to use artificial intelligence as a tool, as a companion, team companion for design thinking processes, because design thinking processes obviously are full of decisions and decision making.
And that's a good example where you can use this kind of knowledge, good decisions based on empirical data, on interviews, on how science works to apply to real world solutions. So we make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're just moving on through our agenda. Maybe Raika, can you copy can you copy again? So EAFIT University, no one was complaining about their application. So we have our first member in Colombia, which is the EAFIT University, one of the very advanced universities there. I'm really happy about that. Second thing is we are working right now on a GDTA style guide, which helps to develop the further steps with the website, but also the conference development. Raika, can you share briefly, because I don't have it available here right now. Do you have it up?
Yep, no
Just a
problem.
few
So,
pages.
just a disclaimer, this is not my work. It's all coming from South Africa, from Junaid, who did a great job putting together what we have so far.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's not final, but it is something that will be a good thing to be able to sort of hand over also for people to use when it's all about how we use the GDTA as a brand. So I mean, we've all seen a style guide, but sort of it does talk a bit of positioning. There are some things that we still need to discuss, so not to get hung up on details, but it does define things as the colors very clearly, the fonts we use, and then we also have a good overview of what sort of the visual language should be for the digital world as well as anything that we put out to the world. And that will also be, in the end, then a presentation template and so on. So kudos to Junaid at this point.
Yes, big shout out. Junaid is helping us, supporting us very intensively there. It's pretty good. We are also working, actually, Chan mainly is working on the conference 2025 book. He couldn't make it for today. He's busy with different other conferences he was setting up all around design and design thinking. So he's working on the conference book and the booklet, which should be kind of the prototype or the booklet for the conferences, a decon booklet where everything is noted, and he is putting this together. We have a preliminary version already, but I hope it will be finished towards the end of the year. We will not have it tomorrow for our discussion to the Indian group. Website update. It's actually a shame, but we are still struggling with technology issues. We are right now in the transfers. Right now, up to now, the website is hosted at the HBI. But since it's so complicated, the security issues are so high at the HBI that we decided a few weeks ago to move it all to South Africa to have the hosting done there. But that is on the way right now. As soon as that is done, we'll put it online. So it's still not online, even if we were announcing that in September already, but it's not there. Any other things about that, Raika? Or is there any progress which I missed?
Now we're still waiting for the transfer, and the
Yeah.
design we showed in September, so that's the same. It just needs to be uploaded to the world, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, last week I was in Singapore meeting with Don Norman and Srini Srinivasi with the whole team because they had the Don Norman Award Summit in Singapore, a 3-day event, which was actually very nicely done by the Singapore Polytech. And they were the host this time. Last year it was happening in San Diego. It was the first time. This was the second time. And they had about 40 awards. And the Don Norman Award is an award given to teams which are not super professional yet, but soon to become. So they are actually looking for mostly students, student teams who are working on on things which are addressing the larger topic Don Norman is focusing on right now, since he's actually turning 90 in December. So, and he was there with 89 and very actively. Let me just find a picture here. And I was really impressed um, how how active that person is. My mother is the same age, but she is not at all. So that guy here is Don Norman. Look at the eyes. In the right, Srini Srinivasi, the CEO of the Don Norman Award, and Don Norman was really celebrated quite intensively. This is the award ceremony. There was also cultural inputs from students, singing, dancing, doing stuff, and this is Don Norman giving his introduction and yeah, giving out the awards. It was a great event. I think it was about 300, 400 people. Let me just get rid of that here. And we are discussing right now that was one of the reasons they approached us. Don Norman approached us several months ago, actually at the beginning, no, last year already. He approached us if the GDTA would be interested in hosting that award, the Don Norman Award, since we don't have an award yet. That is a matter to be discussed in the future. It's a 3-day event. I think right now it's quite tough. It would be quite tough to integrate that into our activities as a GDTA activity. But we'll set up a meeting together with Don Norman and Srini Srinivasi pretty soon to discuss that further, what their ideas are, what our ideas could be. Then next thing on the list here is the Africa chapter. Peter, is there anything you want to announce, or is there any progress? The Africa chapter or Hoda, because you're both part of that.
Yeah, no further update from our side, Uli. We're obviously meeting on a number of things still, but I think, yeah, things should firm up and shape up next year.
Okay.
Uli, can I just add something very
Sure.
quickly? Is that we had a very, very good input from Jenny Vandernick, who's working on helping us in identifying some high impact practices around building networks. I personally learned a lot, and I've been building networks for a while now, but she had some very interesting resources. I'm not sure if she's had a chance to present them to the entire GDTA yet, Rika. I'm not sure. But I remember that at some point she was going to do that. And she's done extensive research around how to build networks, how to foster networks, what makes a good network. And since we are an alliance, which is a form of a network, I think it would be really useful for us to explore that at some point. It's going really well at the level of the 4 universities that are working on it at the Africa level, but it might be interesting to also explore that at the GDTA level as well. She did some phenomenal work in that as well.
Yes, I fully agree. I also learned a lot about networks, and it's really helpful for also maybe also for the chapter in India and the other chapters to be built. I'm not sure if there's a Raika. Is there a summary? Is there a slide deck which could be shared already, or?
Yes, there is slides and a recording. And we had considered that maybe she might join one of our members' meetings in the future to give us a more sort of consolidated thing for everyone, because it's really very interesting, the stuff she's researched and the stuff she's gotten to know building the D School Africa network that she's building already. There's lots and lots of wisdom in there.
Why don't we give her a slot at our next member chat in
Yeah.
Q1 2026? think we should give her the stage there. Yeah, Raika and myself, we are planning a US trip in February next year. It was actually planned to be done already this year, but we had to postpone it due to different reasons. And we want to visit, on one hand, new possible members, but also existing members. We want to visit the MIT, the MIT Morningside Academy, the MAD. We have lots of exchange already. HPI is partnering with the MIT, with the MAD, and also San Diego, who also approached us, the university where Don Norman used to be based, and some others, Raika, you also in Chicago, the Design Institute. So it will be an intense trip, but it's necessary, I think. We'll do that.
And we also had quite a few members joining from the US already. So they are GDTA members, like the University of Tennessee, Lehigh University, and we've just never been. So I think just getting in touch personally is always worth a lot. We also have two universities where people retired, like Jean Liedtke and Meg Konkel. So we might try and go out to those places to see the successors and also build a personal relationship there. So. And
you're
it's
also
going to be
going to
near
Canada,
Miss
so
Jacob.
we have to change
Sorry.
that. It's US, Canada.
True. We might go to, but to the other coast, right? Not quite. Yeah.
Okay. Reportings from the board is the next one. Maria Stashenko was planning to come, but now she is actually together with, she was invited by Sharon to Ecuador, and right now they are running a workshop right now while we are talking here. So she was not able to join. She asked me to share the roadmap 2026, which she prepared for the board, and let me try to do that. I cannot go through the details, but I just want to share what we are working on. So you see here the topics, the initiatives, a short description, priorities, here the different quarters, and the vision. And what we are working on right now is dividing the work onto different shoulders. So it's about member relations, about events, exchange program, tools and methods, education and certification, special projects, and design thinking 360, organizational development tasks, so the legal body, advisory board, inauguration, and this kind of activities. And we are working on this. Very helpful that you are setting up that kind of spreadsheet tool, which helps us to better coordinate the work. We want to become more and more a professional organization, also a legal organization. This is one of the big topics for the 2026. So that helps us to get more on the track. Anything else from the board to add from Jacob, Hoda, Matt couldn't make it today, and Nalin? You want to share?
Actually, from the board, I think we are moving in the right direction, and we will discuss more, and then we will, since I was not there in the last board meeting, we can discuss, and then I can share my points soon. Hoda have her hands raised.
Yeah, Hoda.
I think something that's emerging from our work within the board is in addition to this idea of strengthening the network, is that the GDTA is a very powerful, let's say, vehicle for collaboration. And there are many members that they're not only representing themselves individually, but many of them are also representing their institutions. And some of the ideas that are emerging as priorities on the sheet that Maria shared and developed, and we discussed at the last board meeting, are ways in which we can strengthen the network by building on the strengths of the individual members. So, for example, there's a recent call for capacity building in higher education and Erasmus, and this is something that we're looking at. Because there are a lot of European universities that are members, and Egypt is now an associated member, which means that we can apply as part of Erasmus. Building opportunities for member institutions to collaborate around a common goal or a common project, in addition to our meetings and the conference, to make sure that we're adding value to the members beyond just a space to share ideas. And I think this is something that's emerging very strongly in the board. How can we create value to the members that's tangible and that is aligned with the mission and the vision of the GDTA as an alliance that continues to grow through the strength of its members. So I think this is something that personally that's emerging for me in our work on the board.
Yeah, thank you, Oda. And also thank you for really pushing us into this, into the Erasmus or European funding thinking. I think that is very important and it could actually help us a lot. I think you're fully right that we can make use of these kind of programs for at least part of the GDTA, in this case, the European part. I would also encourage all of you to think of or to look at what kind of funding programs in your area of the world are existing, which could make use, or we could make use of that as a GDTA, as a global network, and maybe get some additional funding for special projects. For example, also for the conference, but also for certification programs and that kind of things. Any other things we forgot? Jacob, you have something to add to from the board perspective, which we forgot?
I like Nell, and unfortunately I couldn't make it to the last meeting because I was teaching, but I think Hoda laid it out really well there in terms of what we're doing. To me, it felt like the first year we were really figuring out what does a board do and how can we keep things moving. And now with the plan that Maria has laid out, it's really moving more towards action and hopefully starting to provide more value to all of the members in different ways and doing that through the funding models that we're trying to explore, like Erasmus. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's a new drive now with the board, and I'm really excited about the ideas and also the pressure the board is putting up to get more speed and to get more things done. I think that is really necessary. We have a few minutes now before Isabella.
Uli, the one thing, so just to add to what Hoda was saying, I think the whole activities do crystallize how diverse the GDTA is, not just worldwide, but also we have members that are just academic and members that are more on the commercial side, and things we've been talking about a lot, also about membership criteria and these things. And we had a really nice chat with IRDG recently, Uli and me, because they actually reached out once this criteria came out to say, look, we're not really academic, like we don't fit your mold right now. So we had a bit of a chat about that and hope to get a prototype with and from them, sort of to see how we can really connect members more, so that whoever they are looking for right now, if they are looking for just more the commercial side of organizations for someone to prototype with, so that there's a chance for the organizations in the GDTA to find each other better and to really just connect. So I think that's one of the things we learned there also along the way. You're mute, Uli.
Yeah, Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Raika. Yeah, we're getting more precise now in defining what we are and what we want to do and where we want to head. And that is very important step. The next point here on the list is the GDTA conference 2026. Question to our three, especially to Nalin, actually.
Yeah. So, as I've just also opened up our conversation earlier, it's a big call out for September 2026, and soon more monthly and weekly engagements will be out there. I'm looking for more tractions. It's just not 26 September. We wanted to have more traction throughout the year so that people gets excited about the conference, and we'll have more participation, particularly in-person participation. And Coimbatore is an exciting place. I sure we will actually make the entire journey more memorable. We will roll out the simplest agenda to start with, and also the yearly engagement plan. And also, we will invite more ideas from everyone out here, and we will build the agenda beautifully. And looking forward for a conversation soon.
Very good. Thank you. And yeah, we'll get together tomorrow and discuss further steps. Now we should have our applicant in the call, but
Yes, I'll admit her now. She's in
but
the waiting room.
we still we had at our last board meeting we had Donghua University Shanghai applying, and Kathy Zhang, who is joining actually our last conferences physically. She was applying now proactively for her university, and the application video is Raika put it online here. You can have a look at it, and so I would love to that you check it out and get back to us as soon as possible with your comments on that, and if there's any rejection, any reason to reject. Otherwise, I would be happy to welcome a second member in China. I was approached during the Don Normal conference by another organization from China who also want to join. So there is a growing interest also on the Chinese landscape. And now we have Isabella. We can hear you and we can see you. I'm glad that you are joining. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
to join the member chat, the member meeting of the Global Design Thinking Alliance. As usual, we missing a part of the members, so it's not all the more than 40 members. And you see also some are represented via AIs. We do some recording, and you see here people from Egypt, from India, from Brazil. I don't want to eat up too much time here, but those are all the members. Several from Germany, also from Europe. Raluca is from Romania. From India, we have three people here in the call. Peter from South Africa, and it would be great if we could see all of you. And we had a previous meeting with Isabella some weeks ago, and we're pretty impressed about what she's doing in Poland at the Białystok University of Technology with design thinking. And so she decided to apply to become a member of the GDTA. And I would like to ask you to tell us a little bit about your activity and what you're doing with students in the teaching arena of your university.
okay. Hello, everyone. I would like to share with you a short presentation about our, let's say, experience with design thinking. Can you see the Białystok University of Technology is located in northeast part of Poland. We are technical university. We have strong cooperation with other universities which are located in the Białystok, such medical university in Białystok University also, but we are technical universities. We have like 6 faculties at our university, mostly connected with technical disciplines. We have also the faculty of the engineering management. The next slide shows you some numbers about our universities. We have more than 600 academic teachers, 33 study programs. I'm from the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, and my experience with design thinking is connected with the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Białystok University of Technology, and also with others university from Białystok, which I just mentioned. What I can say about the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, approximately about 10% of staff from our university, from not a university, but the faculty, had the design thinking course, for example, as the PhD student, or for example, took part the just a course at, for example, Stanford University. Our history with design thinking started in mostly my and other few people from my faculty and few people from my university. Started in 2013. We took part in the Top 500 Innovators program. It allowed us to take courses connected in the topic of design thinking at Stanford University. We also had site visits at this school and IDEO and other topics connected with the entrepreneurship innovation system, which is in Silicon Valley. So we, after those 2 months experience at Stanford University, we decided to make some activities connected with design thinking. We had different activities. We started with the multi-crea project. It was dedicated just for students from our university. We also had the workshop for rectors from our universities in Białystok to share the knowledge about the design thinking. We had also different courses which were dedicated to the students from Białystok University of Technology and also in other university. What was, I think, the huge impact, in my opinion, right now, it was opening the course to the PhD students in such disciplines as mechanical engineering and biomedical engineering, and they had just course, the name was, of course, the design thinking. Those people who, for example, in 2016 were the PhD students, now are the academic staff members, so they know the design thinking mindset and a way of thinking. Another activities which we've done at our university was mostly connected with the teaching students. We offer them different kinds of courses connected with the design thinking, creative thinking. I have, for example, courses such as design thinking and innovative entrepreneurship and technology transfer. So I can say that during those more than 10 years, the more than 1,250 students from Faculty of Mechanical Engineering had got the knowledge in the topic of design thinking, and each year about 125 students has also those, maybe not full course, but the elements of the design thinking during the studies. Mostly they are on the second degree program in such programs as automotive control, robotics, biomedical engineering, mechanics and machine design, and mechatronics. After a few years experience, we had some conclusions from teacher point of view and from the students' point of view. I know that when we started like more than 10 years, we didn't have space, we didn't have the culture of interdisciplinary team working. Some of the methods which are in design thinking were used by mostly PhD students unconsciously, but how the students were working at our university, mostly in the virtual way of they didn't do, for example, the physical prototypes, but mostly the virtual. So we've made some recommendations, but it was a little bit difficult to implement because the maybe a gap of financial support, the difficulties of understanding by previous rectors to understand the mindset of design thinking. But I think we managed to do some good work. We established the Future Innovation Lab. It is the space at Faculty of Mechanical Engineering where student can work in interdisciplinary teams. The space can be rented by the teachers, by the students from different groups. Also, we created and opened the CCL CAD and code space where the student can use advanced computers with different kinds of software where they can prototype visually, what allows them in next step to create the prototypes. This year we opened the prototyping innovation lab and makerspace because we also change our way of thinking about the teaching programs at our Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. So as you see, this year we started the new, actually after the modernization, the new program of automatic and robotic and mechatronics. As you see, we have the project courses from the first semester, and the students are doing the project in those prototyping labs. Next year, we are going to change the program in mechanical design, and during the next year, it allows us to mix the students in team projects from different programs. So we would like to have in one project course the students from automotive and robotic, mechatronics, mechanical designs. We have, as a Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, have impact on the courses which are our faculty. So the same we would like to do on the second program degree, but for sure we'll have, now we know after those 2 or 3 months using the prototyping spaces that we need much more spaces, and during next semesters we'll be opening the next one. Also, I was participating in some other initiatives connected with design thinking. It was 10 on top. So we designed the, let's say, supporting materials to the subject business and management. This is the new subject in Polish secondary school. So we are using design thinking to design those materials. The other initiative is the helping companies to design innovation, and mostly when I'm helping companies to design innovation, I'm using the design thinking methods. This year also we signed, our rector signed the intent of letter with Sugar Network. We are at the beginning of this path because it's a little bit quite difficult for us to find industry, for example, partner who will be support us. For us, as a Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, the most important is interdisciplinary. We had also sometimes the implementing interdisciplinary team projects and activities is much easier in, let's say, research area than didactic area. So we establishing research laboratories in other scientific disciplines. We're founding the interdisciplinary grants which incorporate mechanical engineering, and this is dedicated to the other faculties from our university. And we also helps to publish the interdisciplinary scientific publication which are involving also mechanical engineering. And on last slide, sorry, I would like to just to show some plans for the future. So to have more impact on interdisciplinary research, including the mechanical engineering, developing interdisciplinary laboratories at our university, to have more and more team projects and encourage different programs to our team projects. And also we would like to develop our spaces for the team-based working and physical prototyping. And of course, we would like to expand our international partnership with other entities. So I hope so that it wasn't too long. I'll try hard, do my heart. If I could answer any question, of course.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for showing us about all of your activities, and also telling us about the size of the university and how do you collaborate between the different departments. Is there any question from our members? Raluca, you're asking.
Yeah, so I had a similar finding. Our design thinking school is based in a university in Romania. So here it was also very much interdisciplinary collaboration, or few collaborations for research, but not for teaching. And this is how we started the design thinking courses, in collaboration for teaching. I'm curious how you first started with your design thinking initiatives in the university. So who was who ignited this interest for so many activities?
So I think that the first time it was in 2013. I just sent the mail to student research clubs and just invite them to take part to design thinking course, and I just do it for free. Just I wanted to share my my knowledge. So I think it was the first one. And the second one, when I was actually during my those workshop experiences at Stanford University, the dean from my faculty sent me an email. Isa, you are in interesting university. Maybe you would like to implement any interesting course during our study programs. And it was the beginning.
Thank you. There was Andre was next, and then Claudia.
Yes, thank you so much for introducing this university. That was inspiring for me. So University of Cologne is also a really science, hard science, engineering-based university, and I see a lot of similarities. Can you give me a hint? So we always figured out that students need first to cover basics of engineering, of science and experiments to get at work at all. And then there should be some perfect sweet spot where you ingest the creativity and the openness of design. And we are experimenting up and down the curriculum. Can you give me an idea where you would insert design thinking into these really hard science and engineering agenda of your university? What's your sweet spot?
First of all, I think that I think the sweet spot will be that this type of course should be obligatory for the students.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So because my experience, if it's not obligatory and student will be not interest in this. I had such difficulties that, for example, I just had one opportunity to implement design thinking at the beginning. It was the lecture. So and one course program. So how to implement the mindset of design thinking as a lecture. So it was a little bit difficult. I don't know. It's quite difficult question how to answer. But I think that maybe the most important is to maybe to start with the teachers, not students. Because after this 10 years perspective, I think it was good decision that we implemented the design thinking course at the PhD studies at PhD school. At the beginning, I thought that was a wrong decision because some of the PhD students told me that because I was interviewing them, they told me, that this knowledge for us is too late. This knowledge supposed to be at the, for example, first degree level. Okay, so as a knowledge for the PhD students was too late. But when I'm looking on this from the, let's say, management point of view, at my faculty of mechanical engineering, it was good decision because now I have like more than 10% of my staff who were trained by design thinking. And it will be difficult to encourage engineers and technical way, the people who have typically technical way of thinking, to encourage them to take design thinking course because they will tell you that is the kindergarten. So
yes.
So this is my honest opinion. So at the beginning, I thought maybe it was too late, but right now I see for example, right now we don't have this course at the PhD studies, and I see what kind of results it will have on the future.
Yeah, makes absolutely sense. So we have now decided to pin it at the beginning of the masters. So in the bachelors, they learn all the handcraft, and now they want to know what's the difference if we enter masters, and we say now you have to start to design things with what you learned. So that is a similar decision. We will see what ends up there. Thank you.
Last 5 minutes here. Claudia.
Yes, thanks a lot for the presentation. Out of curiosity, so, and maybe also as Oli already indicated, time flies. Maybe a very short answer, but I'm really interested. So, what are your expectations in terms of giving and receiving? So, expectations about what to get from the GDTA, and what you could imagine would be your contributions. And there, as in design thinking, there's never a wrong answer to these questions.
Yeah, thank you.
No intention behind.
Thank you for this question. I didn't answer, but I was thinking about this. So I don't know, maybe I would like for sure to spread my knowledge. I don't know if it's something new for you or the members, and if our experience and quite difficult environment can be inspiring. But I like to share about my knowledge. I'm very interesting about the interdisciplinary cooperation. But the one thing is very important for me. I would like to try to involve our faculty in some research areas connected with design thinking, because maybe I'm a little too shy to try to write something, some publication to, to share some experiences connected with the design thinking. But I hope so that to being a part with your organization, it allows to our university also to become a member of research group connected with the design thinking area. So, and of course, I would like to, encourage and I don't know, maybe I can imagine, such team projects with other universities. We are have such experience. It was starting right now. It is a little bit different. So not only interdisciplinary of our university, but connection with the other universities with totally different disciplines. So yeah, I would like to share my knowledge, experience, and the research areas are very cooperation in research area is are very important.
Thank you very much, Isabella.
Thank you.
And I would be actually very happy if you would become a member. That would be you would be the first member from Poland.
Yeah, I didn't mention this, that actually there is no one from Poland.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit strange for me, because I think, as I mentioned, there was the 500 people at Stanford, maybe not Stanford University, but there in Poland, we have so many different initiatives and projects where people are using just design thinking. So it's quite, I don't know, and there is no any member in the organization.
Yeah. Yeah, so we told you already about the procedure. We'll send out, we were taping this. We will send out to all the members also, so give them a chance who could not attend today. And we ask them to get back with any objections, if there are, until December 7th. And if there is no a negative call from anybody, you'll get a message from our side that you are a member of the GDTA. So, but give us a little bit of time. December 7th is the deadline here for our members. And people have to head to next meetings. My time timer is indicating that we have the 90 minutes past now. So thank you very much. Thanks all of you, especially Isabella, for taking the time to share about your activities. Thanks to all the members to be a part of our quarterly member chat, actually the last one of this year. So I wish all of you who are celebrating Christmas and a good and warm Christmas with their families, with your friends and families, and all of you who are celebrating New Year. I think it's all of you. A good New Year. And we didn't set up the meeting, did we, Raika? Do we have the Q1?
So we have a Q1 in store, but we want to align that first. So we'll send all of the dates for 2026 out still in this year, obviously.
Yeah. So we'll send it out then later also, hopefully with our summary, with the meeting minutes here of our and the recording of our session today. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to a very exciting 2026. And also, I'm looking forward for our prep sessions for the GDTA conference in 2026. The first prep session will start tomorrow with the Indian team. And yeah, thank you, and have a great morning, day, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are right now. I'm looking forward to our next meeting. See you. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
And
you.
we
Bye
stop
bye.
the
Thanks a
recording
lot.
now.
Bye bye. Bye, everybody. Bye bye.